You are listening to a cassette recording of a channeling session from the Raw Contact, a series of 106 sessions that were conducted between 1981 and 1984, using a form of tuned trance telepathy. Throughout these sessions, a group of entities identified as Ra shared information regarding the Law of One, spiritual evolution, and a variety of esoteric topics through a series of questions and answers. The full text transcript of these recorded sessions can be read for free at lnlresearch.org, where you can also learn more about this audio and its origins. This recording is intended for personal study and is not available for commercial use. Please contact LNL Research if you wish to use this audio in any other way.
There are a couple of questions. One of fairly non-transient importance, and one which I consider to be a bit transient that I feel obligated to ask. If you, because of communication with others, first, it's just clearing up final points about harvest for our friend. And I was wondering if there is a supervision over the harvest, and if so, why the supervision is necessary and how it works. Since an entity's harvestability is the violet ray, is it necessary for entities to supervise the harvest, or is it automatic? Could you answer this, please?
I am Ra. In time of harvest, there are always harvesters. The fruit is formed as it will be, but there is some supervision necessary to ensure that this bounty is placed as it should be, without the bruise or the blemish. There are those of 3 levels watching over harvest. The first level is planetary, and that which may be called angelic. This type of guardian includes the mind, body, spirit complex totality, or higher self of an entity. And those inner plane entities which have been attracted to this entity through its inner seeking. The second class of those who ward this process are those of the Confederation who have the honor, duty of standing in the small places at the edge of the steps of light, love, so that those entities being harvested will not, no matter how confused or unable to make contact with their higher self, stumble and fall away for any reason other than the strength of the light. These Confederation entities catch those who stumble and set them aright so that they may continue into the light. The third group watching over this process is that group you call the guardians. And this group is from the octave above our own and serves in this manner as light bringers. These guardians provide the precise emissions of light, love, in exquisitely fastidious disseminations of discrimination, so that the precise light, love, vibration of each entity may be ascertained. Thus, the harvest is automatic in that those harvested will respond according to that which is unchangeable during harvest. That is the violet ray emanation. However, these helpers are around to ensure a proper harvesting so that each entity may have the fullest opportunity to express its violet ray, a selfhood.
Thank you. This next question, I feel to be a transient type of question. However, it has been asked to me by one whom I've communicated with, who has been intensely involved. You have full portion of the phenomenon. If you deem it too transient or unimportant, we'll skip it. But we've been asked, how is it possible for the craft of, shall we say, the fourth density to get here, in that it seems that as you approach the velocity of light, mass approaches infinite. We have talked about the increase of spiritual mass, and it was just questioned as to how this transition from very distant planets is made in craft. And my question would be why craft would be necessary at all. This is not an important question.
I am wrong. You have asked several questions. We shall respond in turn. Firstly, we agree that this material is a transient. Secondly, those for the most part are coming from a distant points, as you term them, do not need craft as you know them. The query itself requires understanding which you do not possess. We shall attempt to state what may be stated. Firstly, there are a few third density entities who have learned how to use craft, to travel between star systems while experiencing the limitations you now understand. However, such entities have learned to use hydrogen in a way different from your understanding now. These entities still take a quite long durations of time as you measure it to move about. However, these entities are able to use hypothermia to slow the physical and mental complex processes in order to withstand the duration of flight. Those such as are from Sirius are of this type. There are the two other types. One is the type which, coming from fourth, fifth, or sixth density in your own galaxy, has access to a type of energy system which uses the speed of light as a slingshot and thus arrives where it wishes without any perceptible time elapsed in your view. The other type of experience is that of fourth, fifth, and sixth densities of other galaxies, and some within your own galaxy which have learned the necessary disciplines of personality to view the universe as one a being, and therefore are able to proceed from locus to locus by thought alone, materializing the necessary craft, if you will, to enclose the light body of the entity.
I assume that latter type is the type that we experience in most of our landings from the Orion group. Is this correct?
I am Ra. The Orion group is mixed between the penultimate and the latter groups.
Why is a vehicle necessary? Why for this transition? I understand. When you, as Ra, went to Egypt earlier, you used bell-shaped craft, but you did this by what?
Is that thought form upon which our concentration may function as motivator. We would not choose to use our mind, body, spirit complexes as the focus for such a working.
Thank you. I'd like to make a statement. I'm sure I'm somewhat off with this, and try to. It's a very difficult question to ask for me because I don't really know what I'm talking about. But it seems that to me, and you can tell me where I'm going wrong with this statement, that we have 7 bodies, each corresponding to one of the 7 colors of the spectrum. And that energy that creates these 7 bodies is a universal type of energy that streams into our planetary environment and comes in through 7 energy centers that we have called chakras to develop and perfect these bodies. And this is, each of these bodies is somehow related to the mental configuration that we have and the perfection of each of these bodies, and the total in-streaming, you might say, of this energy is a function of this mental configuration. And through this mental configuration we may block to some extent the in-streamings of energy that create each of these 7 bodies. Could you comment on where I'm wrong and correct me in this that I've stated?
I am Ra. Your statement is substantially correct to use the term mental configuration is to oversimplify the manners of blockage of in-streaming which occur in your density. The mind complex has a relationship to the spirit and body complexes, which is not fixed. Thus, blockages may occur betwixt spirit and mind, or body and mind, upon many different levels. We reiterate that each energy center has 7 sub-colors, let us say, for convenience. Thus, spiritual mental blockages combined with mental bodily blockages may affect each of the energy centers in several differing ways. Thus, you may see the subtle nature of the balancing and evolutionary process.
I am unsure as to whether this will provide an avenue of questioning or not that will be fruitful. However, I will ask this question, since it seemed to me that there's possibly a connection here. On the back of the book, Secrets of the Great Pyramid, there are several reproductions of Egyptian drawings or works, some showing birds flying over horizontal entities. Could you tell me what this is and if it has any relationship to Ra?
I am Ra. These drawings of which you speak are some of many which distort the teaching of our perception of death as the gateway to further experience. The distortions concern those considerations of a specific nature as to processes of the so-called dead mind, body, spirit complex. This may be termed in your philosophy the distortion of Gnosticism, that is, the belief that one may achieve knowledge and a proper position by means of carefully perceived and accentuated movements, concepts, and symbols. In fact, the process of the physical death is, as we have described before, one in which there is aid available, and the only need at death is the releasing of that entity from its body by those around it, and the praising of the process by those who grieve. By these means may the mind, body, spirit, which has experienced physical death, be aided, not by the various perceptions of careful and repeated rituals.
You spoke in an earlier time of rotational speeds of energy centers. Am I correct in assuming that this is a function of the blockage of the energy center, and when it is, the less blocked it is, the higher speed of rotation, indicating greater energy in streaming?
I am Ra. You are partially correct in the first three energy centers. A full unblocking of this energy will create speeds of rotation. As the entity develops, the higher energy centers, however, these centers will then begin to express their nature by forming crystal structures. This is the higher or more balanced form of activation of energy centers, as the space-time nature of this energy is transmuted to the time-space nature of regularization and a balancing.
What do you mean by crystal structures?
I am Ra. Each of the energy centers of the physical complex may be seen to have a distinctive crystalline structure in the more developed entity. Each will be somewhat different, just as in your world no two snowflakes are alike. However, each is regular. The red energy center often is in the shape of the spoked wheel. The orange energy center in the flower shape containing 3 petals. The yellow center again in a rounded shape, many faceted as a star. The green energy center, sometimes called the lotus shape, the number of points of crystalline structure dependent upon the strength of this center. The blue energy center, capable of having perhaps 100 facets and capable of great flashing brilliance, the indigo center, a more quiet center, which has the basic triangular or three-petaled shape in many, although some adepts who have balanced the lower energies may create more faceted forms. The violet energy center is the least variable and is sometimes described in your philosophy as thousand-petaled, as it is the sum of the mind, body, spirit, complex, distortion, totality.
Right now I feel a feeling at the indigo center is if this center were totally activated and not blocked at all, would I then feel nothing there?
I am Ra. This query, if answered, would infringe upon the law of confusion.
Immediately after the death of the physical body, you have stated that the believe I'm correct in saying that primary activated body is the indigo. And you stated that it is the form maker. Why is this so? Can you answer that?
I am Ra. This will be the last full query of this session of working. The indigo body may be seen to be an analog for intelligent energy. It is in microcosm, the logos, the intelligent energy of the mind, body, spirit, complex, totality, draws its existence from intelligent infinity, or the Creator. This Creator is to be understood both in macrocosm and microcosm, to have, as we have said, two natures, the unpotentiated infinity, which is intelligent. This is all that there is. Free will has potentiated both the Creator of us all and ourselves as co-creators with intelligent infinity, which has will. This will may be drawn upon by the indigo or form-making body, and its wisdom used to then choose the appropriate locus and type of experience which this co-creator or sub-logos you call so carelessly a person will take. I am Ra. This is the time for any brief queries.
Is there anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable or improve the contact?
I am Ra. All is well. You are conscientious. I leave you now, my brothers, in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator. Adonai.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Mm-hmm.